Putin's war machine never stops. New mobilization underway. Russia readies mass army surge to fight Zelensky's men. Russia bleeds, then recruits more. Putin's huge army plan.
We continue to staff our armed forces, and it's proceeding at a good pace and according to plan. We have many willing volunteers, our men, real men, who are voluntarily signing contracts to serve in the armed forces and volunteering to defend the interests of the motherland and the interests of the people. We had over 400,000 people sign contracts this year, 406,000 or 410,000. But the number of people who want to serve in the newly created branch of the armed forces, unmanned aircraft, is so large that the Defense Ministry is forced to announce a competition.
Russia has completed its manpower recruitment objectives for 2025 and is already preparing for another large intake next year, according to Ukraine's military intelligence chief Kyrylo Budanov. Speaking to Ukrainian public broadcaster Suspilne in a year-end interview published on December 27th, Budanov said Moscow met its 2025 mobilization target of 403,000 personnel ahead of schedule and is on course to slightly overshoot that figure by year's end. He added that the Kremlin has now fixed its recruitment goal for 2026 at 409,000 soldiers, signaling a sustained effort to replenish and expand its forces as the war in Ukraine grinds on. Budanov explained that Russia initially planned to recruit around 343,000 personnel in 2025, but revised the target upward midway through the year as recruitment momentum increased. According to Ukrainian intelligence assessments, the bulk of these new troops have been signed on as contract soldiers rather than conscripts. Financial incentives remain the central tool driving enlistment, with some recruits reportedly receiving signing bonuses of up to 2 million rubles, or roughly $25,000, depending on the region. Money has always been one of the main instruments for waging war, Budanov said, adding that generous payments are used to lure people into military service and avoid the political backlash of another mass draft, similar to the unpopular partial mobilization announced in 2022. Beyond Russian citizens, Moscow is also continuing to draw on foreign manpower. Ukrainian intelligence officials said on December 26th that Russia has been systematically recruiting foreign nationals to fight in Ukraine. Oleg Ivashchenko, head of Ukraine's Foreign Intelligence Service, stated that more than 150 foreign recruits from 25 countries were identified in December alone, with around 200 more preparing to join Russian units. According to Ukraine's coordination headquarters for the treatment of prisoners of war, more than 18,000 foreign nationals from 128 countries had been mobilized by October, with North Koreans forming the largest single contingent among foreign fighters. Ukraine's intelligence services also report that Russia has increasingly relied on convicts and individuals with chronic medical conditions, including HIV and hepatitis, to sustain troop levels. This approach, officials say, reflects the strain on Russia's manpower pool, despite steady recruitment numbers. Although Russian forces have made incremental gains along parts of the front in 2025, Budanov and other analysts argue these advances have come at a heavy cost. Poor training, shortages of protective equipment, and tactics described as human wave assaults have resulted in significant casualties. Independent investigations underline the scale of these losses. A joint project by BBC Russia and the independent outlet MediaZone has confirmed more than 156,000 Russian military deaths, noting that the true figure is likely far higher. Ukraine's General Staff reported on December 27th that Russia has lost more than 1.2 million personnel since launching its full-scale invasion, a figure that includes killed, wounded, captured, and missing troops, and broadly aligns with Western intelligence estimates. British intelligence has also assessed that Russia disproportionately recruits from poorer regions and ethnic minority communities, while elites remain largely absent from frontline combat. London estimates that Russian losses in 2025 alone exceeded 400,000 killed and wounded. Despite mounting budgetary pressures, Russia continues to adjust one-time payments to maintain recruitment levels, with bonuses reduced in some regions and raised in others since August, underscoring how financial incentives have become central to sustaining the war effort.